When people say Harley-Davidson motorcycle, it does not get a lot more Harley-Davidson motorcycle than this. So this is a 2003 anniversary edition. Look at that. Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. I'm Isaac here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, and I have your pre-owned bike of the week. Just the stance and everything about these bikes is just phenomenal. It's just gorgeous. I mean, it's as classic as it gets. I mean, you've got your spoked wheels on the front and the back, this massive front tire, and this one is decked out with plenty of chrome. So you'll see this is always a big deal. You've got the chrome fork lowers, so that really, I mean, look at the front end. I mean, that makes it right there. It is anniversary edition, so it is the black tins, and then it does have this beautiful stripe down the middle of the tank with the 03 100th anniversary edition insignia. And you see the Screaming Eagle on that twin cam, letting you know you got something a little special going on in there. And you've got this nice chrome kind of dog bowl style cover on the air cleaner. And it is a 2-to-2 Samson exhaust. And you'll see right there, you've got our forward controls. And it is Softail, but it is the twin cam Softail. So the dual shocks are actually tucked up underneath over there versus the mono shock like on the Milwaukee 8 Softail. So it pivots a little bit differently, but it is still Softail, so it's got that nice clean line all the way down. And this one does have some nice chrome covers there for the axle. And Softail standards in that era did get that beautiful bobtail fender. I'm a big fan of it. And the big old brake light underneath. And then on the right, you'll see it is still rubber belt, a little bit more extra chrome, nice little flame Harley-Davidson right there. Big old kickstand and Harley-Davidson seat, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And so then we'll see right up here on the tank, this is where you'll start to notice that it's got a little bit extra custom work to it. So it's got some very narrow bars, which we're going to be highlighting on this ride, and it has relocated controls. So since it is aftermarket with looks like a performance machine, front brake lever, and a little bit. And just to kind of simplify this bike, clean it up a little bit, most of these controls from the hands are actually moved to the center of the tank. So now I've actually got my high-low beam here, my horns on the left. This still controls between the aisles on the bike and trip A, which is only a trip A on this. And then this is actually the starter switch. And then everything else is going to be right here on this lockable switch here in the middle. It's just one key for the bike, so it's just a hard key that all you do with it is just lock this ignition there. So, and it is carbureted, so you'll see on my left, I've got the fuel shut off and I've got the choke right there. So it's gonna sound extra good because the carbureted Harley with big pipes is one of the coolest things you can be rocking. And since it is carb, one thing that's nice is I do have a little, my oil dipstick here is actually with a temperature gauge. So that way I can kind of get a better idea of how much choke I'm gonna need based on how warm the bike already is. But other than that, this is the 2003 Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. So let's go ahead and get in it. So we'll start this bike up, let you hear what it sounds like. And full disclosure, I did go ahead and warm it up a little bit, so that way you wouldn't have to see me fiddling with the choke too much. So, which once you kind of get the bike figured out for yourself, then you know the right amount of choke based on the right temperature to get it started. But turn this, clutch in for safety, and press and hold. There we go. And you'll see it was already warmed up enough, so should be good to go right here. Ease out, and the clutch is still all the way in. We give it just a second to let it warm up, but I'll let you hear what a twin cam Harley-Davidson sounds like. Oh yeah. That's it right there. Yep. So go ahead and check it out. Do have just the one mirror here today. So we're going for old school style on this thing, 100%. And that's the nice part about this one is it's all the way. I mean, these narrow lane splitter bars. I mean, that's cool stuff right there. Yeah, and so it just has the one mirror, which being on the left side is nice because, you know, merging in traffic and all that jazz. So, see what it's like. What I'm most curious about are these bars. A little cheat code for you folks. Right when you get started riding. I cannot see anything around this door. Oh, better go. As soon as you get started riding, what you should probably do, also we have no turn signals. So we're gonna have to rely on our brake light and using our hands. These bars are kind of cool. Well, it's not bad at all. Yeah, slow speed, real slow speed maneuvers. Yeah, it's a little bit tough because you've got that big tire so far out. So it's a little bit hard to do those tight U-turn boxes for the MSF on this bike. But once you get rolling, these lane splitter bars aren't bad at all. I kind of like it. There's no kind of like it. I do like it. Very firm seat. Oh, this is cool right here. Yeah, I mean, it's just big old Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Sounds fantastic. Looks good. Big spoked wheel way out there in front. I mean, that makes a sharp looking bike. And this bike, you know, the right blend of black and chrome. Everything's oh. Everything looks so sharp. I hope I look cool because I feel pretty cool right now. Also, there is no cruise control on this. So sometimes you still get the throttle lock, but since this is the kind of custom styled hand controlled, you don't really have much of, since this is the custom styled hand control, you don't really have much of anything. Count what gear I'm in. That's the thing I like most about the newer Softails is gear indicator. Yeah, this is it right here. It's been a minute since my old Softail days, or my old Softail days. So this thing's nice though, I really like it. Oh, this one does have a fuel gauge too, so I've got a little analog gauge right there. So made to mimic the even older style bikes with the split tank. You've got your gas on the right, and then on the left you have what also used to be a fill hole is now just a little replica or decorative little cap here, and that has your fuel gauge on it. So, and it's actually passed through the tank, so it's not, there actually aren't any wires going straight into your tank from there. Those wires go like, it's like a recessed all the way around. It's almost like a cup holder. If you pull this out, it looks like a cup holder in there. So, yeah. The only downside to these bars, besides the like real tight maneuver stuff, is seeing behind you is very tricky. It's kind of quick. Oh, Screaming Eagle there letting you know this thing can fly. Sounds good too. Man. Sounds good at idle and sounds even better not idling out on the road. Yeah, man, this thing takes you back right here. It's a very comfortable riding position. You know, obviously you don't really have any sort of wind protection at all up here. But the lower, the kind of lean forward stance with the legs further out in front of me, this isn't bad at all. Because what I can also do is, because I'm kind of leaned just the right amount into the wind, so I'm upright enough that I'm still pretty comfortable, but I'm not. Ever heard of a motorcycle?
I'm leaned forward just enough where, the wind doesn't really affect me that bad. But I'm upright enough that I'm very relaxed. This is nice. For an old twin cam, this thing's got some hustle to it. Yeah. This thing feels like it'll hustle. Still pretty nimble too. Obviously, you're not going to have the most lean angle on this bike, but you still got a good amount. You can still get it. Alright, yeah, this thing's fun. So, who would enjoy this bike? Anyone that can ride a motorcycle would enjoy this motorcycle. It's old twin cam, but old carbureted twin cam. So if you like doing a lot of work yourself too, mechanically that is, then these older bikes are phenomenal because they're not too complicated, and the electronics are very, very minimal. And especially if you like working with carbs. But these things are stout right here. They ride great. They're comfortable, and they're just cool. This thing's packing a punch. Don't overlook this bike here. Don't just think like, oh, that's just some old cruiser. I mean, it's older, but old dog's got some tricks to teach still. We haven't cut through campus in a minute. Welcome to the luxurious NC State Centennial campus. So one of the cool things about having this bike does have the fuel gauge up here on the left, but something that's even cooler that it has is, since it is carbureted, it actually has a fuel reserve. So what that is it's not a separate reserve tank. In this case, what it actually is it is another selector on the fuel valve. If you're riding along and you get to a certain level of the tank there, then if you just have your fuel valve in the normal on position, then it'll start to sputter. The bike will sound like it's running out of gas, because it is. And so that's to give you a little bit of a heads up. So if you hear that sound happening and your bike is carbureted, then it probably has a reserve. So all you have to do is just reach down to the fuel valve, which this is all good to make sure you know where it is before you ride. You need to reach down and then turn it to reserve. And once it's in reserve, then what it's actually doing is it's pulling fuel from a lower spot in the tank. So that way you had your little warning, and now you know, hey, like, I am almost out of gas. I have just a little bit in reserve to get me to a gas station. So use that little bit, or tell your buddies, hey, we need to get gas. And then you get gas, turn your fuel valve back to on, and you're good to go. Doing hand turn signals because I think there's this car right behind me still. Oh, hello. And this thing is cruiser, so I mean, it's low. There's obviously faster bikes and bikes you can lean a lot harder, but there aren't many that are much cooler than this, I'll tell you that. This bike has set a very high bar. Do a little U-turn right here. Show you how it's not that bad. Actually, that really isn't that bad. This bike has such a low center of gravity that this isn't bad to do at all. Now we get to continue our beautiful journey through Centennial campus. A beautiful day to ride. Welcome to, I dare say, peak riding season. The amount of pollen that is on the side of my camera is disgusting. Yeah, so just on this quick little ride, what am I liking? I love the stance of this bike. This bike looks so good. This is a bike that when you have it and you ride it, it's one you keep looking at. You know, when you go step in the garage to go grab something, then you're gonna want to stop for a second and take a peek at this bike. The riding stance looks so good. I mean, you feel as cool riding it as this bike looks. I mean, and that's something you don't see a ton of. You don't see a ton of the bike looking as good with the rider on it. And it's quick. It surprises me how much power this thing has. It's not slow. It handles great. It's got this little upgraded braking too. I mean, it's got a lot going for it. And it is carbureted too, so I mean, that's always fun. I wouldn't call that a negative. I think that's more of, I feel like having a carburetor isn't always a negative or positive. I think that's more of like a decision. Like if you're getting a street bob or a lowrider. I mean, each one's going to have its own perks, but it's going to be about the style of the rider that's on it. Another big takeaway are these controls. So since everything, test our braking here. Phenomenal braking. Since everything was removed from the hand controls, moved down here, it takes a little bit to kind of figure everything out, but also it's kind of nice having that so kind of only the rider knows. So if you leave this, so really you kind of could leave this unlocked and there'd be a better chance of somebody not starting your bike and going off with it, because you got to know where the starter is. Not everybody's gonna know, well, what's this button? They're gonna be looking up at the controls like, why can't I start this thing? So, and it is, you know, fully air cooled, so not a whole lot you got to worry about. And it's a smaller displacement compared to, you know, like your 110s, your 117s, stuff like that too. So you won't have to worry about heat as bad. But yeah, but your legs are up and far enough out that, you know, you get a good breeze through here and you won't feel bad at all. Other than that, belt drive, so minimal maintenance there. I'm like, wow, the idle's kind of high, but yeah, it is when your hand's on the throttle. Like, oh, it doesn't have cruise control. Okay, like, yeah, that's not ideal, but for, you know, a bike like this, you know, that's fine. This is a bike you're just out there having fun on. But it could be your only bike. You could go everywhere with it. I mean, it feels great, and it doesn't have a ton of miles on it. I think that was right turn. I'll have to look at the chart. So, oh, that's the horn, my bad. So, fun fact, that one's the horn, my bad. This actually tells you the miles on the bike, the one on the right. And this bike has, it's like just under 20K on it. So, definitely broken in, but for 03, that's nice. So I was keeping it warm for you. So, and here is Tobacco Road, where we will bring and park your pre-owned bike of the week. So if you want to know more about this bike, then come see us here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson. But in the meantime, ride safe. And we hope to see you here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson sometime soon.